Hello and welcome to One Time In, a Europea's UK podcast sharing and celebrating tales of travel and international adventure. My name's Joseph.
And I'm Nathan.
And together today, we're going to be exploring some of those magical moments that really let you know you're in a different country, culture, or climate.
And so today we are here with Sofi Fontenla. She's based in Galicia in Spain, and she's going to be sharing her story from her time in a wedding at Istanbul. So how are we doing today, Sofi?
Hello, I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Great, thank you.
We're recording this on Easter Sunday as well, so we might diverge into a conversation about Easter across Europe. But for the time being, if we get started into the story which you're going to be sharing with us today, then Sofi.
Okay, perfect. So my story, which I hope it's interesting, but I don't know if you will find it interesting, happened 2 years ago, exactly 2 years ago, actually. And I was in Romania doing a voluntary service. Yeah, it was Easter. We had a week with holiday time. So we were like, what can we do? Where should we travel to? Because once you are away from home, you want to like do as many things as you can do, like, you know, and we were like,
You've already kind of made that adventurous leap to be in a different country. So then just like, let's go to another country for the weekend. It's not such a big deal.
You become crazy in those situations. Like anything is enough for you, you know? It's like, I've been living in Romania for 3 months, but so boring. I already know everything, supposedly. But
sure.
Yeah. And then since in this kind of, I don't know how to call it, in
holidays, Easter holidays?
No, not holidays. In voluntary, it's not, what is it? Programs. Yes. That's the word that I was looking for. In these kind of programs, there's people from everywhere, like in Europe at least. Like, I don't know. Also, there were many Spanish. Like, we are everywhere. I'm sorry for that. And French, Spanish and French. But Turkish in Romania, there were lots and lots. I guess since it's near and stuff. I don't know, maybe it has something to do with it. And we had two Turkish friends, and they were like, oh, you can come to Istanbul. It's like the best city in the world. I love it. They were not from Istanbul, but you know, the capital of your country, you have some, I don't know. It's a good place to show other people.
Sure.
And we were like, of course, we want to go because we've never been in Istanbul. None of us. We were like 5 or 4 people. I don't know. They told us you should come, and we were like, okay, we don't really have that much money, you know, because, well, no one had that much money, I guess. So actually, I traveled by plane with 2 of my friends, and this Greek guy traveled by autostop till Istanbul from the east of Romania to Istanbul by truck. And I don't know exactly what happened, but I think he almost got in a fight. No, the truck driver that was getting him to Istanbul almost got in a fight. I don't know.
Wow. So just for those of you guys that don't know what Sophie means by autostop, we call it hitchhiking.
Hitchhike, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
So he was thumbing a ride.
I was one of those guys. I was thinking maybe it's like a bus service or something, but no.
Yes, so we traveled to Istanbul, and we stayed for a week in the flat of the friend of my friend. Yeah, it was really fun because, I don't know, they knew the city. So it's always better when you visit somewhere with someone that is from that place rather than you looking in Google places to visit in blah, blah, blah. And then, I don't know, you will get tricked or...
Sure, being a tourist is a lot of fun, but having someone to show you around a place when they know the place is a completely different experience, I think.
Yes,
and
exactly.
On that as well, I'm always skeptical of Google reviews as well, because I have never, nor do I know anybody else who has ever taken the time to write a Google review. So that's a little bit, always puts me off a little bit, but yeah. Now, so we're in Istanbul and you've got your friends taking you around. What did you think about the city?
I loved it, but I didn't imagine it like this. Like, it's such a huge city. I don't know, it has to be one of the biggest cities in the world because it took us to arrive to the wedding, I think 1 hour. by car, and it was still Istanbul. Like I was like, what the heck? I don't know. It was so huge, and it also had lots of skyscrapers. I didn't expect that neither. I thought more of a traditional kind of city, like modern, but with lots of ancient buildings and stuff like that. And no, it was more like I don't know, cosmopolitan city, very cosmopolitan. And then you could find like a mosque next to a skyscraper, and I was like,
Wow.
what is this? This is not so, I don't know. It's weird, but then it's not weird because it's what represents them. But yeah, it was very nice. And
So
then
it's
the
a
wedding
real,
happened.
So it's a real kind of like, sorry to interrupt you, it's a real combination of, because obviously Istanbul's a very old city. So it's definitely got that combination of modern and ancient like architecture.
Yes, exactly.
I've never been. I've heard great things about. Yeah,
it's like that.
Cool.
Yeah, the wedding happened. So the wedding, we already knew that this wedding was, that we were going to this wedding because after we planned the trip, one of the Turkish girls told us, oh, one of my best friends from my childhood is getting married. Do you want to come? She has invited all of us. And we were like, what? She has invited us? Like, we don't know her. But we didn't make many questions because it was like, of course we want to go. Like, it will be so fun. And then she told us this, and a few days before we got the plane, she told us that the wedding was canceled because an accident happened from one of the members of the family, and it was really tragic. And we were like, they were like, okay, probably the wedding is not going to take place because they are sad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't know, she told us the day before we got the plane, or it was during our time in there. I don't know. I kind of I put all of my clothes in my suitcase, like prepared for the wedding in case it happened. And then it happened, and I was like, I knew it. I knew they were going to get married, because I don't know. Come on, like, you can celebrate love and bad things.
What better way? What better way to get over a tragedy than
yes, and get all the family together.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's nice. And so we arrived to the wedding. So first of all, I didn't know that, like, I've only been to, well, actually no, I've been in a wedding in the United States. So not only Spanish weddings, but normally people get married during the wedding. But in Turkish weddings, they get married before. So there's no priest in the wedding. They had like a small ceremony that is more serious with the parents or the grandparents or whoever comes, like not everyone like in here. And so we arrived there and they were already married. We were like, okay, are we late or something? No, we would never see it anyways.
So the wedding is more of the sort of the celebration that comes after the ceremony.
Exactly. It's a celebration. It's like a small party. Well, not small.
And so where was this celebration set as well? What type of building was it in? Was it in outside?
Paint us a picture.
Yeah, it was just in a garden, you know, like in the terrace of a restaurant or something like this, a big terrace or big garden or whatever. So nothing really fancy. I mean, it was cute, but it wasn't like in any religious place or in a palace or in a...
Is it like typical image, like what you think when you see a wedding, like flowers everywhere and loads of like white arches?
Yes, exactly.
Fancy, yeah.
That's what we were expecting, and most of it, because it was the Islamic culture, like we didn't expect anything simple, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got surprised. It was really nice. Also, another difference is that they don't serve alcohol in these Turkish weddings. So we were like, wow, wedding, because in Spain you can drink champagne and stuff, and you can eat as much as you want. And there it wasn't like that. You could drink water, Coca-Cola or Fanta or something like this. And then it wasn't like, it was at nighttime. So, but it wasn't a dinner. It was just like some snacks on the table. Like you could get a bite of this and a bite of that. So we were sitting in the table, drinking water with people around us that were not like, some of them could speak English, but not so much. So we were not really talking to other people, and also we have never met them before, so
Sure.
we were strangers, like, what are these people doing here? Probably they would.
Did you feel, even though you were, like you say, strangers and guests in this really unusual environment for yourself, did you still feel welcome there, and did you still enjoy it?
Yes, of course. Like, this was the first impression, but then we stayed there for a few hours and it was the best ever.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were feeling a bit strange, but then they started with the dancing party or whatever, and they started playing music, and also they only played Turkish music, so it wasn't any pop or hip hop, so we didn't know any of the songs. It was like, okay, let's do this. And then there was just like 3 people dancing on the dance floor, and I was like, I really love dancing, so I was telling my friends, come on, we have to dance since we're here, let's have some fun, like, why not? So we started dancing, and our Turkish friends taught us some Turkish moves to go with the music and not dance something that is completely different, although we ended up doing it, of course. And then I don't know how it happened, but all the people in the wedding started dancing. Like, we were dancing together, holding hands and doing these Turkish moves and stuff. And it was really, really fun. Like, I was getting the bride. Is that the correct?
Sure.
Right, yeah. I was getting the bride and like in the middle of the circle and showing her around, like, come on, everyone, clap your hands for the bride.
Wow.
And it was really fun. Like, and I was not even talking much with her because she didn't know that much English, but we didn't really need to talk, we were just dancing. And we have some videos of this moment. Like, wow, I don't know, it was fantastic. I didn't even want to leave. Like, my friends told me it's time to leave, and I was like, no, come on, you have to dance some more. Like, everyone is dancing here. Like,
wow, that's very cool.
And, yeah, everyone was happy.
It's like you were able to bring, as much as the way that they were celebrating the wedding was quite different from what you were used to, you were able to bring some of what you were used to their wedding, and share that, and that's really cool.
Yes, I loved it. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, I think you've painted a really nice picture with that, and so there's a lot of takeaways what people will be able to go away and think about from there, like similar to the previous episode what we had with Federico. And although language isn't a commonality, you can still communicate, and especially have a good time while doing so as well. So I think it's also that story a big advocate for music and dance, bringing people together, and just being able to celebrate and have a good time. And it's always nice to a sharing of cultures, but as well in something as personal as a wedding, for them still being there to welcome you, and open the venue to you as well. Because I know we were chatting before and saying maybe in Spain or in England, you wouldn't very often see just some random stranger invited to a wedding.
Yes, exactly.
Nice in the first place that you had the invite, and then to go on and have a good time. And like how Joseph just said as well, about you being able to add value to their celebration as well through you getting up and dancing with the bride, and just having a really good time. So no, amazing, and thank you for coming on and sharing this story with us, and Sophie.
Thank you for inviting me.
No, our pleasure. So I know you spoke about it quite a lot there. We have a reoccurring question on this podcast, and that is, what is the most exciting dance you've ever seen from another culture or country? And so would you say that was maybe one of the Turkish dances you saw at the wedding, or have you got any other contenders?
No, I love this. I love all the dances. I don't know, this was very good. Also, I remember I don't know, I think every time there's like some music somewhere, I start doing crazy things, and then other people join me, and it's amazing. So I don't know, I love all the cultural dances. Also, I saw some dances while I was in Istanbul. One day we traveled to an island, and there were some, I don't know how to say that, like they were showing some cultural dances from different parts of the east of Europe there, and they were like dances from Bulgaria, some dances from I don't know, Ukraine and stuff like that. And I love those. I love seeing those kind of dances because I don't know, you find it kind of familiar to you because some steps are similar to your home.
to your own sort of cultural dances.
To your cultural dances, but then they're different. And
what do you consider to be your own cultural dance, just out of curiosity?
Well, of course, in Spain, everyone knows flamenco is the most famous and stuff. But in Galicia, in the part of Spain where I live in the north, no one dances flamenco. Like, it's really, we feel like foreigners with flamenco. So it's more like muiñeira, but I've never really danced that, but it's beautiful.
Cool.
So that would be it.
I've never even heard of it, but just the sound, it sounds beautiful.
Yes, all the dances are beautiful.
Yeah, sure. Have you ever seen Morris dancing, the national dance of England?
No, I want to see it.
That might change your perspective.
No, I'm sure that I just lack the appreciation of it. I'm sure that there is value in it, but it's not quite got the flair of flamenco or muñeira. Did you say? How do you say?
Yes, muñeira.
Say again.
Muñeira.
Muñeira.
Yes.
Something like that. Thank you. So you were saying before as well that you were in Romania as part of a volunteering project. That was through Erasmus Plus, was it?
Yes, it was, exactly.
Okay, cool. And what was your project? What was your project about?
My project was about we were going through different high schools in Romania, and we were doing workshops against bullying and discrimination in schools. It was really, really good. Like, we got to speak with many youngsters from Romania and listen to them. Well, the ones that were open to us, because of course you are a teenager and some random people come to your high school and you have this face like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But some others were like really telling us their stories, and we tried to help as much as we could, or at least to make them open their mind, because I don't know, some people hate others for no reason. So
sure, that's something we have to try and work on. I think as well, it's something that can be much more easily addressed when people are still young, and often it stems so much from not being challenged with the ways that they think, and also not having those people just to say, hey, you don't have to think this way, you can think other ways, and explore why it is you think that way. And the young mind is much more flexible and open to considering new things, I think.
Yes, it is.
Sure. And so that was did you say, sorry, that was just a short-term project, was it?
It was for 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, more or less. I wish I stayed for longer, actually. But
much dancing involved? Was there much dancing involved?
Well, with volunteers, with crazy volunteers, always.
And so where were these crazy volunteers from as well? Then you've explained about, obviously, Turkey and being invited to the wedding, but was there many other nationalities there?
Yeah, mostly Spanish and French and Italian also. Italian were much involved in these kind of programs. And what else? Actually, I think, there was a girl from Amsterdam and some German people, but mostly, seriously, it was Spanish, French, and Italian and Turkish. So we really understood each other well, because we are more from the south of Europe, and Turkey is kind
sort of Mediterranean cultures.
Yeah, Mediterranean cultures, that's it.
Except the Germans.
Yes, exactly.
And the Dutch.
They had to get used to it.
I'm sure they had to get used to the dancing.
Can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing that really nice story. And Joe, have you got any closing words? Or
Yeah, only echo the same. I think it's, again, as you said, Nathan, it's a really good example actually of the sort of theme we seem to be developing in this so far in this series, is that there are more means of communication that don't require spoken language, and dance is a really great example of that. So thank you for identifying that to us and reminding me that I want to go and start some dance classes. It's been on my agenda for a long time. So thank you, Sophie.
It's on everyone's agenda, actually. Everyone says that. I really want to do that.
Sure.
I'm scared of doing it wrong or whatever.
Yeah, if you're looking forward to listening to more of these conversations, then make sure to tune in at Europeers UK. That is Euro PEERS UK, and we're on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. So thanks once again for listening, and we hope you enjoyed.